What's up, everybody? I'm Nick Cato,
And I'm Spencer Breland.
and this is the PlayStation Drop episode 5.
Yeah, episode 5.
Yes, a little later than usual. We a little busy this weekend.
Yeah, I totally forgot it was Mother's Day. Like, it did not click with me at all.
No, I know. We had some company come over. It was a lot of fun. The usual
sounds
rigmarole of stuff.
sounds good. All I did was play Resident Evil, so
Ooh, should have beaten it by then.
yeah,
Pretty,
no, I beat
pretty
it.
bite-sized game.
Yeah, it took me about 8 hours. It was like the
Mm,
perfect size. So
it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So yeah, so that's obviously what you've been playing, right?
yeah,
Just already.
yeah, no, it topped Resident Evil 7 by far, and it's probably my second favorite Resident Evil game, right there behind Resident Evil 2 remake. So
Wow.
yeah, and I loved it. I'm looking forward to going back to it. And I will probably be posting some more Resident Evil content up on the channel. My whole entire Let's Play is up there if you just want to see me scared shitless at some parts. So go check it
So
out.
how did you feel about the people saying it's like spiritual successor to RE4?
It felt like it in a lot of ways. Like, there were parts where I'm like, okay, this is like where the water monster boss is going to be. Sure enough, that's.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it pretty much followed in its footsteps without doing that story again.
I might pick it up. I'm curious.
Yeah, no,
Very curious.
it's a lot more action heavy. So I know you like normally don't play like
Aiming,
horror
man.
games. Oh, it's not that bad.
God.
Play casual. You'll breeze through it.
Yeah, that's just aiming, man. I just can't stand when games are like, we're going to be scary, and if we actually like let you aim well, you're just going to mow through the game.
That's the great thing about casual, because if you just like let go of like the trigger and then click the trigger again, it like auto locks onto the enemy. But I mean, some of the enemies are kind of quick, so if you don't pull
man.
the trigger pretty quick, then you're probably still gonna miss.
Especially with garbage games. I've been playing Returnal a little bit more. Stopped playing because I started having some technical difficulties
That's not good.
because I was one of the people that downloaded that patch before they rolled it back,
Yeah, that's
and
not
man, they need to get their shit together. But the main attraction I've been playing is the Sly collection on PS3.
good. Ooh,
Playing through Sly Cooper 1 just showcases exactly why they need to make a Sly Cooper game again. Because it's just so much fun.
yeah. I've been waiting to dive back in. My Sly 4 copy came in the other day, so it's on my list
There
to
you
do.
go. It's just the first one, just it's so simple. It's like, all right, good cast of characters, decent story. You run in, you run through each of the little stages, collect the bottles, get more moves. It's just so good. And then after that, you can do the master run to prove that you're like mastered the level. It's just perfect.
Yeah.
It's just so much fun. So that's what I've been playing. Maybe one day we'll get to Sly Cooper 5 and not be left on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
But I doubt it.
I don't know. I mean, you got that. I mean, if they're bringing Ratchet back, I mean, Sly would be like a great like throwback. I mean, Jack and Daxter, sure, maybe, but Sly's where it's at.
Oh yeah, I agree. Sly, I like Sly as a character
Yeah.
more than Ratchet. He's
100%.
he's probably one of my favorite PlayStation characters.
Yeah.
It's close, but I don't know. But we got a pretty decent little bit of news. Nothing crazy. Some things will just be like, we'll just bring it up for a couple seconds. Other ones, we'll talk a little bit more. First, PSVR 2 leaks.
Ooh.
The specs. I don't really know if any of this is super impressive, so I will read it and leave it to Spencer to tell me if it's impressive. So according to multiple reliable sources, apparently, that the headset could feature a 2000 by 2040 per eye pixel resolution, gaze tracking, lens separation, adjustment detail, features that can be seen in the Valve Index. The 4K resolution would be a big step from the original PlayStation VR, which is only 1080, and a small step up towards Oculus Quest 2's headset, which is 1832 by 1920. So apparently,
Basically, the resolution's gonna be a lot better, and it's gonna be a lot clearer. It's not gonna be as blurry.
and
Yeah,
haptic feedback.
That's good.
In the, I think they already showed off the
New controllers.
which look dope.
Yeah, they look a lot better. They kind of remind me of like the Oculus controllers. But what I'm more excited about is just less cables.
Oh god.
That is the whole reason I didn't play my PSVR as much, just because it was so much to have to hook everything up to a box, make sure everything's hooked up right. It's not coming on. Let me trace my cables. I left something unplugged, and go back through that whole rigmarole. And it was, yeah.
I still just don't know if I feel how I feel about PSVR because it's gonna have the cables. I use my friend's Oculus Quest,
Which I have one. It's amazing.
And that I played it and I was like, oh, this is how you have to use VR, obviously, because you just put it on your head, boom, you're in.
That's
like super hot, super fun.
Yeah, super hot's great.
I'm like laying on the ground.
Did you play any of the Star Wars ones or no?
I did not.
Oh, it was pretty good too.
It's fun. I mean, I still think VR has a pretty
it's got a ways to
go, but
I think that's why Xbox is kind of holding off because they've said until it becomes truly wireless, which I mean Oculus Quest proves it and stuff like that, they won't develop a headset for their console. But I mean, I think we're getting closer to that point where they kind of need one. I mean, they don't really need one, but they kind of need one just so they compete with like PlayStation, Facebook, the whole 9 yards.
I mean that right there is exactly why I refuse to get the Quest 2. It's Facebook.
Oh, yeah, you got a Facebook account like tied to it and all that.
It's the company I distrust the most.
Oh.
And the fact I don't want Facebook having like a full digital readout of my room.
See, that's what I like about Apple is now that you can basically turn off like where Facebook tracks you as far as like across different apps and stuff.
It's nuts. So I have I use DuckDuckGo as my browser. So I do not have anything Facebook related hooked up to my phone or anything. Like I've never used it. And when I search, DuckDuckGo tells you what website you're tracking and blocks you.
Yeah.
It's always Facebook and Twitter. Always. Yeah. It's like, oh, what a coincidence. So I don't trust it.
They gotta sell your data somehow.
Oh god, I know. It's terrible. But yeah, PSVR 2 looks pretty good. I guess next, Ratchet and Clank hands-off previews came out today.
That's so weird, hands-off previews.
Yeah, so they didn't get to play it. But, man, the game just looks so good. Like, the rivet gameplay and everything, I can't get over it. God, like I'm looking at this, and that's next gen. Like, that's going to be my topic for today, actually, because I'm slowly wrapping my head around what a next-gen game is. But, man, looking at that, God, just the skyboxes. There's so much going on.
Yeah.
It's so great. Man, I can't wait for that game.
It's gorgeous. It literally looks like you're playing a Pixar movie. That's just, like, the amazingness of it. Like,
and it's funny, because every time a new Ratchet comes out, I say the same thing. Where, like, I remember when Future Tools of Destruction came out on PS3, when it first launched, I was like, man, it can't get better than this.
Yeah.
And then I keep saying that. And then when Ratchet 2016 came out, I'm like, man, it can't get any better than this. This is nuts. And now I'm looking at this and saying, it can't get any better. Because I'm starting to think that maybe it can't get better, like, looking-wise. But, fuck, it is impressive.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. Like, I'm sitting here watching it right now, and it's just, like, they're showing off the photo mode. It's intense.
Oh, man, it's going to be amazing. It could be that buttery 60 frames. Ugh.
Dude.
4K.
I still got to play the first one. I'll get around to it.
You're running out of time, Spencer. You're running out of time. You got like a month.
Technically, this game doesn't tie to the other remake, I don't think. Is this technically a sequel to In the Nexus? Yeah.
Which, hilarious enough, is not on the PlayStation 3 online store.
Really? So, you got to spend an arm and a leg to get a copy of that.
I know, I did. Terrible.
Dear Lord.
But amazing. So then these next little things are just going to be like quick breezes and not really much to talk about with them. Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate is going to be PS5 exclusive for 6 months. Big shocker, you know.
Yeah.
It seems like the Final Fantasy games are usually like that. So, did 7 ever come out on Xbox? The
No,
first one?
not yet. But I had a feeling.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a feeling they were in the process of it, but then they were like, okay, we'll just hold off until after this DLC.
Integrated.
Yeah, because I mean, that whole story with the DLC is like parts of the other Final Fantasy 17 didn't realize that that DLC was being made, and it just kind of got made and it's being wrapped into it now. So
Yeah, I was sitting there thinking, like, yeah, that's nuts. Uh, then after that, PS5 shortages are probably going to go to 2022.
that sucks.
That sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fine. It blows.
Because it's not just PlayStation. It's going to be the same with Xbox. It's going to be the same with PC parts, graphics cards, the whole 9 yards.
Because everyone's like blaming the companies, but it's the chips.
Yeah, they
just can't find them.
harder and harder to come by. So
Best of luck to everyone on your house. You'll get it. Don't worry. You'll probably get a better console too.
Well, and that's what I was thinking. You know how they're coming out with the newer model, but all it is just like a different CPU chip in it. And I think that's just maybe they're making that so that it's a little bit easier for them to have more consoles. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and then this is already old news by now, but a possible Last of Us Part 3 could be happening because I have a story outline and I wanted to cry myself to sleep when I heard this.
Just like give the game a break. Just a break.
Like it's not a prequel or...
Yeah, a prequel would be dope.
It's just a direct sequel.
Yeah.
What is there left?
I guess
everything's ruined.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil the second game, but basically it just leaves off on nothing really being resolved. So I mean they could technically still continue part 2 again, but
I don't even want to I don't even want to get started on Last of Us Part 2. My second, I don't know what's more disappointing, that or Cyberpunk. I'm not sure.
Cyberpunk was really good, but I played on PC. I didn't really have any issues besides like a couple of things, but
I refuse.
The Last of Us Part 2, I saw it till its end, unlike Nick. I was really enjoying it till the middle part where basically Nick stopped, and then after that I just forced myself to see it through.
I got 3/4 of the way through the game, and I just said, you know what, I just can't do this anymore. And then I looked up, I watched like a walkthrough gameplay of all of it, and you know what, couldn't be happier with my decision. Because I still stand by that the gore and stuff is good, but man, the gameplay is just not there.
Well,
I don't know what it is with Rockstar games and Naughty Dog games, but dude, they just cannot have good aiming.
Yeah, well, that's
whatsoever.
Kind of funny.
I don't know what it is.
Because the whole Apple versus Epic thing, the lawsuit, they had
the Microsoft.
Yeah, the Microsoft mock review of Last of Us Part 2 was basically saying how gorgeous this game is and nothing basically compares to it. But he was like, they still cannot get gunplay right. Basically just call it out.
It's terrible. Like, I can't, I mean, I could go on for days about how Naughty Dog games and Rockstar games, well, Rockstar games more in particular, are just, the gunplay is just so bad and just the formula is so boring now. But I highly recommend you watch a Nakey Jakey video on that because he explains it way better than I ever could.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's all the news for today. But
quick thing. There's possible Battlefield 6 reveal in June.
Yes.
So, which, I mean, it's most likely happening because there's been many leaks as far as like the music in the trailer, a couple of screenshots,
and a whole lot of Ubisoft news.
Oh yeah, with free-to-play stuff.
And the games, like the Skull and Bones game getting delayed. It's like, dude, can we just say this isn't coming out?
Basically, that game better look like completely different than what it showed off if it's taken this long.
I know. It's just...
It's been years. Like, I feel like we watched it at E3 like when you were here or something.
We did. That was like 5 years ago. Yeah. Oh, 4 years ago, something like that. It was a long time ago. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, did you have any topic you wanted to talk about, Spencer, at all?
Not really. Besides, basically, I'll just say that the whole PS3 like God, we've come a long way from the PS3. A
Were you
long
hating
way.
on the PS3?
Well, just like as far as like how the store is, it's so slow,
Oh my
monotonous,
God,
and then the download speeds are terrible. And then
don't.
I'm at the point where I'm like playing games. I'm like, does this game even have trophies, or was this before trophies? Or it's like, and then I tried recording some gameplay through Elgato, and then I
Good
remembered
luck.
you can't do it. Like, it's not possible without like extra pieces and parts. So
Yeah, it's. But the other thing, man, it showed me that I don't know if gaming has necessarily gotten better
uh,
from then. Like, I still stand by like 2007 being the golden age of games.
yeah, I mean, there's some games that I would still say is better than half the games that are out now. But like right now, I'm playing through Resistance One for the first time. I'm just like, oh my god, this is not. You can tell this is an old game just as far as just. I mean, the levels are like very very short. You just like breeze through them, and it's just like, I don't know. It just feels like one of them B tier games. I'm sure Resistance 2 and 3 get a lot better.
The
Maybe,
gaming's a lot better.
yeah, so I'm holding out for that, but it's just like you can tell that this was I don't know, a game from back then.
hmm
So
I just miss the simpler time. The simpler time.
I miss the smaller and shorter games
Yeah,
from back
yes.
then.
Which is why I almost want to support RE8 just for that.
Yeah,
When I heard it was like 10 hours, like, oh
yeah.
my
It
God.
took me like
How
8
amazing.
hours, and I explored at least 90% of the game. Like I could have just breezed through it probably in like 6 to 7 if I wanted to.
How amazing.
Yeah.
So if you see my eyes like moving around in the video, everyone, I have like a tiny fly flying around my
that
head.
would drive me nuts.
It's killing me inside, but I don't want to make like a loud like. So I'm gonna break my computer. But I guess the one thing I wanted to talk about real quick was I'm starting like you were talking about with PS3, but the opposite. I'm starting to understand now what next gen gaming's all about, or current gen gaming's all about. It's at least with PlayStation. It's the insane use of the DualSense controller.
Oh yeah, that
the way
controller
it
is
feels.
something else.
Like that, like with the triggers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see. I think a lot of games are gonna have like the 4 buttons.
And I honestly think
With it.
Xbox will probably come out with another controller just to compete, just
I hope
because
so.
it's like as far as like Returnal and stuff, like pulling the triggers and you feel like the whole like resistance and everything else. It's pretty.
Yeah,
good.
and I originally when I heard you know, push the trigger halfway to aim, then pull all the way for your secondary, I was like, oh my god, that's gonna be so annoying. But it is just like
It's
perfect.
It's very intuitive. Like it's
Yeah, and then Ratchet's doing something like that, and it's I think the way your controller feels, it's the 3D audio, it's the buttery smooth frame rates,
yeah.
you know, the SSDs with like the quick loading and everything, especially with Ratchet. So
The higher frames, just
Mhm.
like still even at like higher resolutions, like it's just insane.
yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna end up just because the one monitor I have, like it does 120, but the colors aren't the greatest and everything, which I didn't really expect it because it was a cheap.
Yeah.
I think I spent like $180 on it.
Yeah. If you went like with the $400 monitor,
Yeah, but they have that LG Nano Cell TV, which has like the whole sweep, the whole
Yeah.
shebang, HDMI 2.1, and like $500 usually you can find it on sale,
it's not bad
and
at all.
I couldn't even imagine 120 on like such a big colorful screen. Oh, it would be so good.
It'd be amazing.
Yeah. So, have any closing thoughts, Spencer, as we approach E3 time?
I'm just
Hopefully, Sony doing something.
Yeah, I'm just ready for E3, but I'm ready to see like when the actual like E3 briefings will be, because right now it's kind of quiet. EA isn't doing theirs till July, or EA
Yeah.
Play. So I don't know. I'm ready to see it because PlayStation normally skips it here lately, don't they?
Yeah.
So-
I'm sure this year they'll do something around there, like a state of play or something.
Because that's what I just keep waiting for. Because I'm like, okay, I know there's got to be like a day or two I need to take off work. When is it?
Mhm.
Before I go taking it off, I need to know. So, holding my
gotta
breath.
have it. Excited for more reaction videos.
Yeah.
Um,
Both.
I guess my little closing thoughts. Everyone in the hunt of getting a PS5, stay strong. You will get if you follow Wario64
Yeah.
on Twitter, all that, turn his notifications on, everything.
There's at least like a chance every day.
Yeah.
So.
If you stay diligent.
Yeah.
And the other thing I will say, even though I refuse to say do deals with scalpers, I think scalpers will eventually have to sell them at cost to make their money back.
I think you got like another year before that happens.
Stay diligent, everyone. Stay strong.
Yeah.
There's still, in my opinion, there's still not a huge reason to have one yet.
No.
So, but just think, when you get one, you're gonna have. If you waited, you're gonna have Miles Morales. You're gonna have Demon Souls. You're gonna have Returnal. You're gonna have Ratchet. So you're gonna have a slew of games to play. Whereas me and Spencer are like, can we please have a game?
Yeah.
Please, God, just something to play.
Yeah, that's the main reason I bought Returnal, because I was like, oh, I need a
an
PlayStation
Xbox.
exclusive to play.
Even worse right now.
Oh yeah.
Can I have something to play, please?
That's why I buy all my third-party games there, like Resident Evil 8 and then Mass Effect. It's like that's the only reason I boot up my Xbox.
It's dark times. It's dark times right now, and Ratchet's the light at the end of the tunnel for me.
Nah.
And my PS3.
Yeah.
But everyone, thank you for listening to episode 5 of PlayStation Drop, and we will talk to you guys next week.
See you later.
See you.
Bye.